Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show today. It's always good to have you every single afternoon like this. And of course, we always appreciate your time wherever you're watching us live from. This is In Touch. And of course, today we want to look at a couple of things that took place over the weekend. And of course, what's been making noise on social media. Jacobs is my guest on the show today. Jacobs, good to have you. Thanks a lot for coming.
Yes,
I
it's
love
always
your cap.
Wow, thanks. It's always a pleasure to be here.
It's always
Yeah.
good to have you. Quite a lot has been happening over the weekend, and of course on social media. To start with,
Yes.
let us begin by looking at what's been happening between Slab D, Techno's team, Slab D's team, and all that. I think you are privy to the fact that Slab D, it's rumored he was offered 7,000 kwacha to go and to come and open the stage for Techno, who apparently was offered 70,000 kwacha. Now, to begin our chat today, how much do you think a Zambian top class artist is worth?
To start with, music industry in Zambia has grown. It's no longer it's no longer like the way it used to be in the past, where we could see even just from if we start by looking at things like maybe the standards of the videos done by our own artists. Slap D is one of those artists I'm talking about. So if you look at the standards of the videos, you also look at the number of companies that have come on board to work with our own artists. Like if you look at Slap D is found on most of the billboards. Is being used by a lot of companies to do their advertisement and everything, so, which simply shows that is grown, is now a very big artist. He was big though, yeah, but he's now become a very big artist in Africa, so to say. So I think to start with, I can say Techno and Slap D are both big artists, Yeah, and maybe the only difference which is there is that Techno is coming to Zambia, and Slap D is here, is not the one traveling. So I think maybe that's the only difference which is there. Otherwise, when we look at the standards and of course at the levels where Techno is as well as Slap D, I think they're almost at the same level. So meaning if we are coming up with a show that is involving both artists, I think we should consider both to be more important. Unlike
In your own opinion, who do you think is supposed to be paid more between Slap D and Techno?
Yeah, definitely Techno is supposed to be paid more. Reason being is the one traveling.
Okay, in a normal circumstance, whereby, okay, for example, both Slap D and Techno, they travel abroad.
Yeah, they're supposed to be paid the same.
They're given, they're performing at the same show, and they're all there as invited artists. Who is supposed to get more between Techno and Slap D?
According to my opinion, I think they're supposed to be paid equal. If at all they both travel, the Techno travels from Nigeria and Slap D travels from Zambia, maybe the venue is in South Africa, I think on such an occasion, they have to be paid equal. That's my opinion. That's what I think.
Okay, as a music producer, as a music promoter, a DJ, radio presenter, and so on and so forth,
Yes.
what criteria do you think should be used when we are paging how much we should pay an artist for a performance, for a show, whether local or international?
To start with, I would say, first of all, we should look at the artists that we are involving in on a particular show. Like, for example, if we look at Slap D and we look at a 7,000 kwacha as compared to a 70,000 kwacha, I think 7 times 10, it's 70,000. So that's more like a tithe now, like you're giving tithe to Slap D, which is supposed to be given to God, So I think with me, that was too much. If at all that's really the amount of money that the person who was actually organizing a show decided to give Slap D, I think that was really, really too much. It was too small. So I think...
so in your own opinion, even if Slap D was just invited to come and open the stage for Techno, how much was he supposed to get?
Maybe a 20,000.
Maybe 20,000.
Yeah, maybe a 20,000. I think that would make sense, because like if we say 20 plus 20, just the 220s still won't match to the amount that the Techno is going to get. So I think a 20,000 was somehow going to make some sense as compared to a 7,000. I think that was just too much.
It was rumored that at some point Techno said, rumored, get me right, it was rumored that at some point Techno said, Slap D, is still an upcoming artist. If you are to look at Slap D and techno, who do you think is an upcoming artist between the two?
Okay, to start with, let me say, you know, me, I'm actually a music producer. Now, being a music producer, I actually get to listen to both artists critically. I remove the levels, you know, like we remove the level of Slap D as well as the techno. We just look at the quality, what what they're able to do on the microphone. I think Slap D is far better than techno.
No.
That's my rating now.
Are you speaking because Slap D is Zambian techno?
No. Listening
but
to
Zambians really have got a very different viewpoint in this matter. They believe techno has got more good music.
Yeah,
because
no wonder I said, if I look at it from the production point of view, you know, we put Slap D on the microphone and then we put techno on the microphone. We remove the beats, we remove the instrumentation, we just listen to the dry vocal. You know, if you listen to techno, some of the songs that techno has done are those of songs like you know, sniper, can't shoot it, can't shoot it. You know, if you listen to the voice itself, you know, you remove the instrumental, you know, like, then you listen to Slap D. I think Slap D is far better than techno. I'm not speaking like this because I'm a Zambian, but I'm speaking because I'm able to get both artists, like, from the issue of, you know, now I put them on the microphone and I get to listen to the dry voice. I remove the instrumental. I think on that one, I strongly say Slap D is far better than techno.
Far better than techno.
That's my opinion.
Over the weekend, Pato Ranking was in the country, and he was performing in Livingston during the.
I watched that show on social media.
Exactly.
I couldn't
Your
attend the show.
opinion.
Yeah.
Your opinion.
I think
It was quiet, you know. I personally, I didn't even know that Pato Ranking was in the country.
Yeah, neither did I. Actually, I only saw that on social media after the people who were at the same event started posting some videos, and I think somehow I loved the welcome Slap D was given after Pato Ranking had to actually introduce him. He's the one who introduced Slap D on stage.
Pato Ranking.
Yes, and then just after Slap D, you know, he just just came from nowhere, you know, and then people were like, you know, they were very happy, which simply shows that Slap D is a big artist. He's no longer the way he used to be in the past, you know. So I think everything should be considered. Even when you're organizing a show, the people that are organizing these shows, they should always make sure that when you are making the budget, include our artists, you know, don't exclude them, you know, like where you organize nicely for the venue, you organize for the transportation, you organize for the logistics, for the person who's coming from outside Zambia, and then you exclude our own. I think that is not good, because, you know, the thing is, for one to involve our own, it means that person has got the following. I think that's what we consider most, because at the end of the day, all of us wants to make money. All of us are into business. You know, even the people that are organizing those shows, they want to make money at the end of the day. So the thing is, they should always make sure that they consider our own artists, and that way, it is actually going to help them to become big. Just like the way we've seen, you know, other artists from other countries driving expensive cars, you know, building nice infrastructures and everything. You know, so I think it all starts from there. That's what I think. So it's about time that we started really considering our own Zambian artists and pay them good money, because they are putting in a lot of effort to make sure that they do good music. Yeah, so that's what I can say as for me, looking at the people that are organizing some of these shows.
Interesting. Let us combine the three. We get techno, we get Slap D, and of course we get Mark II. One show. What would you expect from the show?
Wow. You know, we all know that in the recent past, there's been a number of things that has been happening concerning Slap D and Mark II. And
I think of late, Mark II and Slap D have been more receptive to each other. I think,
yes,
you know, they've shared the stage a couple of times now. I think, you know, we had one in Holland Stadium. Slap D, Mark II shared a stage. We have had them really meeting face to face whenever they're signing contracts for these deals and so on and so
yes,
forth. So it seems like, you know, the relationship is somehow becoming more of a respectful, mutual relationship, and they usually accept working together like that. Now, I'm getting a picture of putting, you know, the three, techno, Slap D, Mark II, together under one show.
Yeah, actually, to start with, let me say, you know, looking at Slap D, looking at Mark II, and also looking at techno. Those are three big artists in Africa. Those are among the big artists in Africa. Three: techno, slap D, and the Maki 2. Now, coming to the issue of the three of them performing together, I think because we are talking about performing in Zambia, so Maki 2, we've watched Maki 2 before, we've watched Slap D before, and I don't think we've watched Techno live before. Okay, we've only seen his videos, we've watched him from TV and stuff, but we've not watched him live. So I think that gives him an upper hand because of I'm sure people would love to go and see him do the thing live. Otherwise,
by the way, is Techno too famous in Zambia? In your own opinion, is Techno famous in Zambia?
He is.
Who is more famous between Davido and Techno in Zambian communities? Or maybe they're at the same level?
I think they're at the same level. That's according to what I've observed.
If you are given an opportunity to invite one to come and perform, for example, Independence celebration or any other celebration that Zambia usually have, and you're given an opportunity to choose from the three, Techno, Diamond, Platinum, and Davido, who would you love to bring to Zambia?
I think I would love to bring Diamond. Yeah, I would love to bring Diamond. Reason being, I've watched the way we're talking about watching them from TV and also watching their videos. I've seen how Diamond performs, I've seen how Techno performs, and I've also seen how Davido does his thing. Yeah, so I think to start with, I will definitely go for Diamond. Then if at all there is no that Diamond, I can definitely go for Techno. Yeah, because I think Davido with me, Davido is quite boring. Yeah, that's what I've observed. Because I've listened to a number of songs done by Davido. It just doesn't convince me. So I think I would definitely go for Techno. And
so you are simply saying Davido isn't good?
He's not, to me. I'm not saying he's not popular. He is popular. His songs are playing almost everywhere in Zambia. But I think to me it doesn't really convince me. It's just one of those things. Anyway. I'm not convinced by what
Patoranking was in the country, like I mentioned earlier, and of course we briefly talked about the show they had in Livingston.
Yeah.
But why was there so much silence in relation to his coming? For example, I'll give you an example. Fally Ipupa is coming.
Yes.
In fact, Fally Ipupa has landed in the country.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. And of course, they had obviously a press briefing this morning. It has been publicized.
Yeah.
Zambians, they know that Fally Ipupa is in the country. But we only heard on Saturday, the actual Saturday, that apparently Patoranking was in the country.
Yeah, I think somehow this has something to do with the advertisement, because the people that are organizing these shows should really know how to advertise the events. Even me, I didn't know about the coming of Patoranking. I only saw it on social media after the whole thing has already started. The people is already performing, people are already there and everything. Yeah. So I think it has something to do with advertisement. We really have to know how to advertise these events, more especially when it comes to the issue of the events that are involving big artists, like Patoranking. Patoranking is one of those artists.
Very big, very big. Because I remember the time that he featured for Cox Studio in South Africa when he was invited.
Yes.
The last edition that had Slap D, and of course that had Slap D in it as well. You'd find that when you look at Patoranking's history, you'd find that Patoranking has been in the industry since 1991. He's been doing his stuff since then.
Yes.
He's been there. The 1990s.
So I think the people, I think the people to blame
there.
It's the people that organized the same show where Patoranking was actually someone to come and perform.
Mm-hmm.
I think are the ones to blame, because already we're talking about Techno, Slap D sharing the same stage, a show that took over the social media of late, which almost everyone was talking about. So I think it should have been the same story even as like the issue of Patoranking, and I think the people that organized that show didn't do better. I think they really have to check themselves so that next time when they organize such a show, they should be able to put nice advertisements so that all of us knows about the issue of because we're in media. If us doesn't hear about the show, then I don't know how it can be done with someone who just stays home waiting for us to give them the information. Yeah. So
The other issue that I wanted also to highlight, looking at the party ranking, the techno slap D frenzy, what can our local artists learn from slap D?
sorry, come again.
When you look at what was happening between slap D or the whole entire slap D frenzy, anything that our artists can learn from what slap D did?
Yeah, actually, a lot of things. You can actually learn a lot of things from what SlapD did, because to start with, we should know what we are with. We should know our level. We should know where we have reached. We should know where we are coming from and where we are heading to. So really maintaining your standards. Refusing certain prizes depending on how much you're given. I think it's a good thing. Don't just look at the challenges that you're having at that particular time financially, but you should also know your level.
The question is, how many artists could have turned down the 7,000 kwacha? How many artists can turn down 7,000 kwacha?
Maybe two
just to
or
go and
three.
open the stage.
Maybe 2 or 3 only in Zambia. At some
apart
point.
from Slap D, because Slap D has done that.
Yeah, I think Makitu can do that as well. Reason being, at some
Because
point,
Slap D has done it.
no, not really. Not really. It's because at some point, Makitu is the one who was talking about the issue of the awards.
Mhm.
Okay, we have got awards. From different, different TV stations, from different whatever. Yeah. So at some point, Makitu was talking about the issue of the amount of money that are in those awards. Yeah. So he was talking about we cannot continue getting these ma3 pin, looking at us as in the level that we have reached and everything. I think it's better. The upcoming ones, there is someone who is in need of that 3,000 kwacha as compared to these big artists. So I've seen Makitu refusing a smaller amount before. That was in the issues of the awards. So which simply shows that he can definitely do the same as well. So I don't know who else apart from Makitu and SlapD, because SlapD has refused a bigger amount as compared to what Makitu refused in the recent past. Yeah. So I think those two guys, they've done it. So the issue is, if you are a big artist, you should maintain your stance. You should maintain your stance. People should be able to know what you are with. People should be able to know the level that you have reached. And we should be able to see from. I'm not talking about because I'm sure this thing will definitely go to even the issue of overcharging when it comes to the issue of featuring them. Because there is too much exaggeration in Zambia when it comes to the issue of working with these big artists, especially the upcoming ones. They're actually complaining, because some people they just want to work with some people. They want to work with these big artists. Now, looking at what their income, it's really not at the level where they can manage to pay certain amounts, So I think these big artists, if we are working as Zambians, a fellow Zambian wants to feature you, is an upcoming artist. I think the most important thing is just to look at the talent that person has. Maybe if you get to listen to the music they do, no, I think he's got the talent. The voice is there. The lyrical content is not bad. I think charge them normally. Let them provide transport, and stuff. Help them. Yeah. So that should not go into the issue of events, Yeah, so where the issue of performances comes in, there you really have to maintain your stance.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Maybe in line with what you just said, I might want to also to get your opinion from there. Is it okay for a big artist to charge an upcoming artist who wants a featuring?
Yes, it's very okay, but don't overcharge.
So how much should that price tag be?
There is no
Depending
price.
on the name?
A lot of things actually are considered. A lot of things, because depending on where that artist is coming from. Because there are some artists. Let's say you want to feature someone who's coming from Copperbelt. Okay, so maybe if you can provide transport, and then possibly if you can provide accommodation. Because the issue covered, he just does his thing and then he goes back. I mean, maybe if you can provide where he will sleep, You also provide the transport. Then
And when we're talking about transport here, what are we talking about? Because what I know is that Sheffield can't get on a Majando bus. Or
not
maybe,
really that.
A Euro or
Yes.
whatever big bus there is.
Yeah, very
so
right.
when we're talking about transport, we are talking about getting a private vehicle.
Not really. We're talking about buying fuel for him.
How about if he's not driving?
If he's not driving, then definitely you have to get a private vehicle for him.
And how much will that private vehicle cost?
Wow.
How much will that private vehicle cost?
That I'm not sure, but it can be a bit expensive, So what I'm trying to say here is
so at least the normal budget that you are supposed to budget, for example, you are getting Shefi from Copperbelt or Afnika from Copperbelt, and you're bringing him here. You have to budget something like 5,000.
Yes. Now, that 5,000 will sound to be a little bit more expensive to an upcoming artist who is getting who is getting a 2,000 from where he's working.
No, it
and
is.
Then he's
It
renting
is.
a 1,000 kwacha where he's residing and everything.
Or
So the
maybe-
thing is, currently things have changed. Technology has actually done us better. So the thing is, you can simply follow them. It's easy. It's currently. I remember there was a time when I was actually recording. Who is this one? I was recording Chester. Chester was featuring on one of my artists, and then I followed him at his studio. I recorded him from there, and then I took the data to my studio, because he said, me traveling, coming that side, it would be expensive. So I wanted to help this artist, So I was like, okay, just so we can jump on a bus. Okay. We can jump on a bus and then we go that side. We do the thing, we get the data on the flash, and then we go and mix the song. It was done like that. It was so simple, So I think you are an upcoming artist. You can jump on a Majando bus, follow Chef in Copperbelt, let him put his vocal there, and then you come with the data. I think that way it can definitely help. Yeah, because ukazivika sungaenda mendo.
Ladies and gentlemen, atsazivika muntu so angakwere basi apereka kitwe record with Shefi and he comes back very comfortable.
Definitely, yeah.
Sometimes I'm short.
No, even know that you see, even the swag, Vovara, one kamangati kapena niwe teacher. No, and definitely know that you even do music, So you swallow your pride, follow them, let them do their thing, then get the data, take it to your producer, and then the mixing can start from there.
You're still watching Intouch, ladies and gentlemen. Jake Hubbs is my guest on the show today. He's a music promoter, producer, DJ, and of course a radio presenter as well, talking about quite a lot, surrounding the entertainment industry. For now, we take a break. We'll be back shortly.
We bring you the best music videos, all genres, every day 12 hours to 13:30 on your favorite channel, QTV. Ngoma. Ngoma, every day 12 hours to 13:30.
Hi, welcome to Street Buzz.
The minds are getting affected because alcohol kills some neurons in the brain.
Why is it a bad thing?
Because it provides a cancer.
It passes cancer.
Yes.
Mwempondo keep watching Street Buzz. This is Street from Intercity.
Epona Pereira Papeni QTV International.
All right, so now quite a lot really happened over the weekend. I just woke up to the information that Chichi B and of course Cactus Agony officially tied the knot over the weekend. Cactus, I'm going to say, Bwanja, we had an arrangement. I was supposed to get married first.
Why? You agreed with him?
No, Atamangila.
Oh.
Atamangila. And you know what? And you know what? These guys can keep a secret. Do you know that nobody actually suspected that Chichibi and of course Cactus were actually dating? I'm one person who never even thought Cactus could actually date Chichi.
No, it was, but it was publicized. Yeah, like I'm friends with with Chichi B, and she was posting every time.
She talked about it.
Yes.
So she's been proud of it.
Yes, very proud of it. You know, like those guys have been dating. We all
Do you
knew
think it
about
would work? Celeb per celeb.
Yeah, we've seen such relationships working. We've seen the
Rihanna,
Michael
Chris
Zulu.
Brown failed.
Yeah, but Michael Zulu and Sister D, it has worked. I think in Zambia it works. You know?
And well, look at the typical example you're giving. Michael, Ndapuza. When you bring these two, you'd find that at some point when they got married, I think even musically they went down a little bit. They had to concentrate much on building their marriage and other issues. So now I'm thinking, if the two get married, do you think they would still be as active as they are in the entertainment circles?
Yeah, definitely they will. Because looking at both of them, I think they are not very active in the music industry, as artists. You know, Cactus somehow went down. He's not as active as he used to be in the past. That's my observation. And then looking at Chichi B, I think Chichi B is more popular of being a radio DJ than an artist.
Me, I knew her as an artist, you know.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. She's an artist. She's done a number of songs, but I think looking at where she's more popular is when she's on radio as compared to when she does her thing. You know, so both of them, they are not very active currently in the music industry, but so I think this can be the right time for them to do the marriage thing and everything, and then later on maybe that's when they can start to be doing the music as like the way they used to do in the past.
As a couple.
Yeah.
All right.
Or as individuals, maybe.
Big ups to my friend, my colleague, Cactus. I think congratulations to you, and of course Chichi B. Hopefully that you're going to be the better wife that Cactus deserves. Okay, great. And of course, still talking about Cactus. Do you think Cactus still has more to offer to the Zambian music industry? Definitely,
yes. You know, because just in the recent past, there were some awards which were going on, and I was one of the people who were actually presenting the trophies there. Yeah. So the thing is, Cactus was one of the guys who were also presenting the trophies. So looking at Cactus, the time he actually jumped on stage, he just did one of the tracks that one of his tracks. And then the whole audience just supported this thing, you know, showing that they are really missing his music, you know. So I think he still have a lot of things to offer as far as Zambian music is concerned.
Well,
so
I love this voice. Because
and the creativity.
In fact, when you look at Kiss of Life song, the song that he just did last year, I think it's one of the best songs that I have seen so far. Great video together with Katongo from the UK. Yeah. Exactly. Because, you know, Katongo had to come from the UK here specifically to come and do the stuff with Cactus. Yeah, she had family issues that she had to work on. She came to visit family, but she also had Cactus in mind. But when you look at Cactus, I'll be waiting will always be, you know, Cactus' identity. I love the way he twists his voice. On top of that, look at Concrete Mixer together with JK.
Yeah, actually,
I think they nailed it.
Yes, actually, Cactus is he does the what?
Raga.
What do you call that kind of music that he does? Is it hip hop, raga?
I think it's reggaeton, something like that. He combines hip hop and raga.
Yeah, so because of that, he's unique. You know. Yeah. So the thing is, anyone who is unique, anyone who is not trying to be someone else, anyone who is himself, has got support in Zambia. You know. So definitely, Cactus, the fans are really missing what you used to do. You know. So it's about time that he went back to the studio and then does his thing, you know. Let him do the another latest, do the video, bring it to the what, and then so he still have a lot of things to give to the Zambians.
Interesting. Chichi
B, I'll still maintain what I said. Chichi B is more popular when he does the DJing as
so she should drop music.
Not really dropping. I think a Cactus should help her.
In what way? Does she need Cactus help? Looking at the way she just resurfaced, the way she came up on the scene, does she need Cactus help?
No, I think let me just be frank. You know, let me just be frank. Somehow I know somebody will be injured, but let me just be frank. I think listening to Chichi B's songs, she sounds more of an upcoming.
Okay.
Yes. She sounds more of an upcoming, but when she's doing the DJing, she sounds more professional. You know, so I think for me, I'll go for her being a radio DJ. As for the music, Cactus should help her to be big, you know, because she's still facing challenges on the microphone. Yeah. So
But I wouldn't blame you for saying that, because at the end of the day, how many years did Chichi really spend in the music industry?
I'm not even sure, because I knew Chichibi, I think some 2 years ago. Yeah.
So she hasn't even clocked 5 years in the industry.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's even younger than Brisky.
Yes,
You
Brisky
see?
is odd.
She's
yeah.
even
Brisky
younger
has
than
been there.
Brisky. And yet, just the 1 year that she came on the scene, she definitely released 1, 2, 3 hits that at least shook, you know.
Yeah, I think maybe
the
it's because of the people that she's been featuring on her songs.
Okay.
Because most of the songs that Chichibi has done, there are some voices for the big artists. Yeah, so maybe
So without the influence of the big artists, you think she
yeah,
would have
because
made it?
me I concentrate much on her voice alone. As Chichibi, I think the voice doesn't really convince me. Yeah, so me, I'll still say now having a husband who has got experience in music industry, I think it's a plus to her. So definitely the husband can help her, just like the way Salman the husband has been doing it. You know, we've seen good videos being shot by the husband and stuff. Yeah, so I think the same thing should happen even to Chichibi and Cactus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Chichibi, Cactus. Well, congratulations, you guys, for tying that note. I think you deserve it, and obviously, hopefully that you're doing great. All right. Still talking about trying to help upcoming musicians. Look at how different things are in West Africa. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at how different things are in West Africa. Some people think, in West Africa it's easy to make a name as compared to here in Zambia. Could that be true?
Somehow that could be true, yes. A reason being, in one way or the other, we are all political animals. We are all connected to politics. We are all under certain ministries. So what I'm trying to say here is, I think it's about time that the ministry, or should I say the government, through a ministry, should really, really consider music to be one of the most important things that they really have to look at. Because currently we've seen a number of things that involves the tourism, and actually that ministry is tourism and art.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure definitely music falls under art. Yeah. So the thing is, on the music part, nothing much has been done as compared to the tourism itself. We've seen the issue of advertising Victoria Falls, the whites coming to watch animals and stuff, yeah. But as on the part of our music, it's only those that are in the music industry who are talking about the issue of music being considered, being improved and everything. When it comes to the issues of agriculture and commercial show, like for example, an event which happens once in a year, we've always seen the issue of big artists from outside Zambia coming here to open the what for us, and then being given a lot of money as compared to our local artists. So
the question is, if we were to make an agricultural and commercial show or a trade fair with just local artists, are we going to get the same audience,
Definitely.
the same number of people, and even more? Are we going to see any improvement to the two events?
We will see a lot, because the thing is, people don't just go there to watch that artist who comes from outside Zambia. They go there to watch a lot of things. Yeah, we've seen the Zambia National Service doing what they do very nice, something which is very interesting to watch. We've also seen the issue of parents taking their children there for that can make a thing, in Dombururu, Shakovana and stuff, So we've also seen the issues of, at some point.
So how many people really come just to watch an artist?
A lot of I remember in the past when I was before 20,
You used to go and watch Maosi. You used to go and feel Manoni because of that train.
Yes,
Kanjanji,
and those things were not coming from outside
and
Zambia.
stuff like that.
Yes.
Exactly. Those are part of a certain section. But if we were to talk about a show and music, the question is, how many Zambians even go to the shows, pay, and when it's time for music performances, they would go and watch?
No, actually, Zambian music has really improved. It has improved. Things have now changed. We've seen Shefi and Slap D almost filling up the Woodlands Stadium. Those are local artists, So the same people went to watch. So what can stop them from going to watch them from the Agriculture and Commercial show? Moreover, Agriculture Commercial is even much cheaper as compared to the Woodlands Stadium, where they still almost filled up that stadium. So things have really, really changed. And I think it's about time that they just gave us that chance. One day, they don't call any artist from outside Zambia. They just call our own. You will see how the stadium, the show will be filled up. I can assure you on that one.
Who would you propose who you think can definitely do it? Because I think I remember when Casper Nyovest almost filled a stadium in South Africa
alone.
It was the talk of the whole entire continent.
It was.
Everybody talked about it.
Yes.
Casper Nyovest is because almost all tickets were sold.
Yes.
For that particular show.
Actually, the thing is, it has something to do with the organizers. I remember at some point, the organized family were talking about. Also, this almost the same time Casper Nyovest had almost filled up the stadium in South Africa. They also had a similar event in Mozambique, of which they also almost filled up the stadium that side.
Would it be the same case if Casper was to come and perform at Hero Stadium?
No, it won't be the same thing. Definitely no.
Why?
So
why not Zambia? Because I thought Casper is loved by Zambians.
He is, yes, loved by Zambians. But no, the Heroes Stadium is big, man. It cannot...
Come on. When you look at the stadium that he almost filled in South Africa,
but
that stadium is big.
Yeah, but how much is the population? Again,
South Africa is bigger than Zambia.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. That's my point. So now, if at all he almost did it in South Africa, which is bigger than Zambia, then how about here in Zambia?
No, because there are a lot of people there. Like, in Zambia, there are few people, and with a big stadium, so... That thing cannot be filled up, man.
Only the under 20 can fill it up.
Yeah, I think so. And
only under 20.
The price must be very affordable, because in Zambia again, when it comes to the prices, amapunda mitengo wanyamata. I've heard of mitengo 1,000 kwacha kungena. 1,000.
But when you look, I'll give you an example. When you look at the Boys to Men concert that came through, tickets were being pitched between 1,000 and 1,005. But showgrounds was fully packed. Fully packed.
Yeah, okay. Somehow
then
there's something to do with,
another example that I would also give you is of Mikasa.
Yes.
When Mikasa came for the first time here in Zambia, it was almost filled up. But again, look at artists like the Brickanless when they came at Barclays Sports Complex. Look at when Mafiki Zoro came for the first time at Barclays Sports Complex. Not even half.
And what was the problem? What do you think? So what I'm trying to say here is that, it has something to do with, one, the advertisement, No wonder, the point I was trying to make here was, the issue, the organized family talked about the issue of, they said, Tingazuje Bwanji Stadium Zambia, na mabana yanganga. Like where they use a cloth to write with paint, like, he's coming to perform, So, they said a show must properly be advertised.
But Wizkid, it failed. Wizkid, we had billboards all over. And yet, when you look at the number of people went to watch Wizkid when he came.
Wizkid is not, he was not.
And it was Hero Stadium, the same Hero Stadium.
That stadium cannot be filled up by an individual artist. It's practically not possible here in Zambia. I'm telling you, I know Zambians, maybe Kankara, maybe 20 kwacha, pado. Maybe. Or 50 kwacha, maybe.
Okay.
Not
as you bring up that point, how much should be the normal ticket for a show that involves an international artist?
I think if they can say, for the sake of, depending on the artist that you're bringing, because there are some international artists who are not as big as others. Like if you cannot compare, Yemi Alade to Diamond. Let me give those examples. Like Diamond is bigger than Yemi Alade. That's according to the way I can rate them. Yeah. So the thing is, depending on an artist who is coming. So if an artist
here in Africa, who do you think would even do the almost for Hero Stadium? Here in Africa.
Here in Africa, the one who can
almost feel that Hero Stadium, or even Levi Mwanawasa Stadium.
Maybe the P Square before they parted ways. Maybe that time they were still two as P Square, because currently they are 1-1 now. The other one is on his own, and the other one is also on his own.
But at some point, those guys came to Zambia. I remember it was Barclays, and it was during the rain season, and it wasn't things.
Things have changed. People have now started supporting music. People have because we're talking about a hip hop artist almost filling up a stadium. A hip hop artist, something which never happened in the past. Like people were only appreciating Mayenge. You understand? Like that of Afunika, that stuff. But currently things have now changed. We're talking about Slap D, who is a hip hop artist, taking over social media. Everyone is talking about him and the 7 pin thing. So I think this time around, if I told people like P Square were to be invited, those can almost, but they can't fill it up.
Almost.
Yeah.
So could it be that Zambians would not just want to support, or naturally they cannot just fill it up? Because at the end of the day, when we are talking about who can come for the show and stuff like that, it takes the support of the fans. When you look at, for example, I'll give you an example. When you look at in other countries, fans are just dedicated to support somebody who they love. They even feel like they can die for that person because they just adore those people. I'll give you an example of the fan base that Beyonce has.
Yeah.
Okay, these are dedicated people who feel I can die for Beyonce because of what she does.
Yeah, actually.
Okay. So now when you look at here in Zambia, do we have those fans who feel they can spend for an artist just to support what that artist is doing because they adore what he does?
Yes.
Maybe that's where the point is.
Yeah, actually we do have such fans. The only problem is that somehow the conduct of the artists themselves somehow is bad, Yeah, one of the fans met this artist. I won't mention him here because I would disadvantage him. One of the fans, she really wanted to meet this artist, Accidentally she met him, okay. Now she ran to this guy, and then the guy pushed that and then insulted her. You understand what I'm saying? So she was so disappointed, and then friends started saying, you understand? So I think somehow even the artists should also know how to conduct themselves towards their fans, and also the thing is, certain types of music have got demarcations, more especially hip hop. Hip hop, you find that it divides, The other one who loves this guy won't support this guy. The other one, but some types of music can be loved by almost anyone. I remember there was a time when I was watching a number of artists at the Agriculture and Commercial Show where a lot of artists were performing, and then the time St. Michael jumped on stage, it was a different thing. I watched it myself. I watched it with my naked eyes. People started throwing money on stage as St. Michael was performing, which didn't happen with anyone else. The money was going on stage like stones, like per stage, like it was different, which showed that this guy has more support than anyone else. So depending on the type of music that you are doing,
could it be that it's because people had just missed St. Michael, that's why they supported him?
Not really, because he doesn't do the beef thing. He doesn't, the music.
I'll give you a typical example. I went to cover one of the sports event at OIDC and we had Zambia Association of Musicians. By then, Njati was the president. The first lady was there. It was something to do with people who are disabled, how we can integrate them in society and so on and so forth. So the vice president was there and stuff like that. Makitu was there, Mambi was there, Rough Kid was there, Biflo was there, and of course a couple of other artists, Yes. So I wanted to measure how these people are loved by their fans.
Oh, yeah.
Biflo went on stage, yeah. Well, people came through, sang together with him. Africa, Datsun represented them. Went on stage, performed. They loved him. Mark II went. Yes, he shook the crowd. You could even tell because people could even do that kalolo dance and stuff like that. Yeah. They could do that. Mambi went on stage. She did her style, and yes, wow, you could tell that okay, Mambi, she's loved. But when Rough Kid went on stage, now you could understand why Rough Kid is so proud of, coming from the ghetto. No compound bazo. Okay? Everyone, and I mean everyone, danced to Rough Kid. They danced to him. Such that, when he left, and with Rough Kid, he wasn't even finishing. I think that's and he lives.
No, I think
he was called back. When people scattered, Njoyati called Rough Kid and said, Rough Kid, start performing so that people can come back. And when he started performing, people came back.
Yeah, actually, the thing is, I've witnessed Rough Kid performing on stage is one of the best, if not the best. If not the best, then is one of the best. He really knows how to handle the stage. So I think people like Rough Kid should open a school where they should be teaching people how to handle the stage. Because, Rough Kid is performed in events where there are other artists, maybe with dancers. Someone who come with dancers, he puts up nice performance, but him comes alone.
With no dancers.
You can imagine, and he manages to make everyone shake. You understand? Yeah. So I don't know how he does his thing. So I think it's only him who knows the secret. Yeah. So I've witnessed him. I've seen he's a very good performer on stage. Okay. Yeah. So I think it's also in those lines. Maybe some people doesn't know how to handle it. Maybe some people are boring. Yeah. Like someone will be like, no, singing indo tamba uja saziva kupina pa stage. Saziva kuchita watu. But for Africa, you can't tell what he will do. So you would
always want to Africa amazing. Africa are amazing, absolutely amazing.
But at least you do have an idea on what you're going to see. Like when the Africa are called, there will be Kwaito dance here, there will be the Guara dance that was introduced by South Africans. There will be all those. But as for Rough Kid, you won't know because you don't know what he would do. So you will surprise you.
How about Dreams? Don't you think Dreams can fill the stadium?
I don't.
Dreams is loved, especially by women. Lashilota is really, really loved by women.
Yeah, Dreams filling the stadium, I don't think so. But people can come.
People can come.
Yeah, people can come. But really, really filling the stadium, it's something else. I don't think the Heroes Stadium, no. Maybe the other stadiums, yeah. But that one, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, so how do we've talked about quite a lot of issues here, Slab D, techno, party ranking, Fali Pupa, show, and stuff like that. All these things that we've talked about, they all border on one particular thing: getting the best out of our growing music industry. So how does the country like Zambia get the best out of the entertainment industry, to be specific, from the music industry itself?
Well, actually, music industry in Zambia has done a lot of things. The only problem is that there is a time when musicians becomes very important. That's the time when they're politics. Okay, that's when the politicians now would want to show that support, and that support we are shown during campaigns and stuff. That's the support that we need throughout the year. Every time, they should be there to support Zambian musicians. That way, music industry will definitely grow, because it's actually the same thing which is killing even the movie industry in Zambia as compared to other countries like Nigeria. you know, because some companies, some big people have actually dedicated themselves to support the thing, you know. So it's about time that we started supporting music industry in Zambia. It can contribute to the GDP. Believe you me, it can do that, you know, because these musicians, they make a lot of money. The only challenge they have is to penetrate, to make it in the music industry, you know. If one have got the support, because we've seen a number of good musicians out there, they got what it takes, they've got good voices, but they don't just have that money to go and do that good video. They don't just have that money to go, you know, they don't just have that money to go and do, you know, yeah. So I think it's about time that we started supporting people like us, you and me, Mr. Nelson. I think it's about time that us who knows the importance of the music industry should start supporting these artists. Maybe that way we'll see something different from our own Zambian musicians.
When you go to South African media, you'd find that South Africa has got a policy. 90% of music that is supposed to be aired on all its radio stations. South Africa has got more than 200 radio stations.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their policies is that 90% of music that is supposed to play on all radio stations should be South African. Only 10% should be. Should that policy be adopted?
Yeah,
should we start thinking of such policies?
I think I'll go for that policy. Like seriously, definitely, I will definitely support. I'm one of so far. I will support that policy, such a policy. You know, because you know this issue of you know the DJ selection kind of an arrangement. I think it's not doing us good, because we are playing the same things over and over and over, and it has actually also contributed to the issue of Zambians being called as the bubblegum musicians who can do bubblegum music, which can not last for a longer period of time. You know, so because someone will do a song today, this coming year, no one will even think of playing it because they're busy playing the video. The one who was on radio in the morning had played the video. The one who comes would also play, and yet we've got. In fact, it's just about Nigeria. It's about the whole Africa. But we've got good artists, you know, like Diamond, like. But Nigeria has just dominated. I don't know why. You know, like the Tekno, the video, the Pato ranking, these guys. I don't know what kind of strategy they've used to dominate so much in countries like Zambia. You know, so maybe a policy can help us to change things. I think that way it will give a upper hand to a local artist to promote music, because somehow there is a policy which is helping, which is supporting that artist. That's one. And then two, because you will be scared of Roberto, you maybe would want to play something else which is not from outside Zambia, because there is a policy. So you'll be forced to look for another Zambian thing and play it on radio. I think that way it will definitely help us somehow. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that's what everyone should think, because I'm just one of the few guys who strictly play Zambian music when they're on radio. I've never played any international song, a song from outside Zambia. I only listen to such songs when I'm home, but when I'm on radio, I strictly play Zambian music. So okay. With me, Zambian local is like I've always supported what is for Zambians.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back tomorrow same time. Thank you so much for your time. I think it's been an amazing discussion, and of course getting different opinions in relation to, you know, international performers versus our local performers, and of course the discrepancies and just ways in which we can make sure that we make the level playing field of these artists, so that each one should be able to smile at the end of the day when they are called for any event of some sort. And I think, you know, Zambian event promoters, Zambian, you know, music promoters, I think they also need to do much in terms of pushing Zambian music in other countries as well. So at the end of the day, we should not have a situation where somebody who's coming from Ghana should be thinking, oh, okay, this artist is not big just because his music is not playing in Ghana. I think that also contributes, because if Slap D's music is is not playing in Nigeria, how do you expect Nigerian artists to look at Slap D? They'll think Slap D is just a Zambian artist, is not somehow any big artist. So if they can push music, and of course if this music can start playing in other countries as well, I think that would also help. I mean, Zambians are all over. We've got Zambians who are living in Senegal. We've got Zambians who are living in Nigeria. We've got Zambians who are living in Ghana, who are living in the UK, and of course in other countries. How about giving them music to showcase outside there? That's why, you know, the world is a global village. That's how we look at it. So there is cultural exchange. Look at how Indian movies have dominated here in Zambia. Look at how Indian music is dominating in Zambia. How? It's because people in India have realized that they've got a very big community in Zambia, and the Indian community here would help in terms of cultural integration. So I think even Zambian promoters need to do just that. Aussie is one exceptional example. He's doing quite a lot in the US where he is at the moment. I think he's trying really Crisis. I think he did try his best. Cactus did try his best because of his international connections. People, you know, and of course others as well. So hopefully that everybody will be able to do their part. I'll be back tomorrow, same time. Otherwise, for today, it's done.